You know, I believe that aliens have erased the memories of a couple of popular YouTubers out there. Now, if that got your attention, let me tell you why I think that's true. Around 2 weeks ago, Insta360 announced their new Insta360 Go 3 action camera. And of course, everyone needs an action camera to do things like this. Or like this. Now with the radio off, you have the diesel engine here. Pretty wide view. I don't know that I really like that. We'll play with it maybe if we get out of the, do the de-warping. Or maybe even like this. Smile. Say Gurkha-noodle. But the first thing I noticed was there were pages and pages of reviews off this new product. I stopped counting, I think, at 100 on this, and that's unusual. There were reviews from people I'd never heard of, which tells me that Insta360 took it upon themselves to send out a bunch of either pre-production or production units to a lot of different people to get reviews on them. Now, if you're a big enough channel and a manufacturer like Insta360 sends you a product like that, you have to sign an embargo agreement. And what that means is that they will give you the item to use or keep or whatever they choose to do, let you do a review on it, but in return, you have to promise that you will not publish your review prior to what is usually the release date from the company. So this means that Insta360 was so anxious to get this product out, they just sent it to a lot of different people. Now that's not really what bothered me. What bothered me was the title of some of these reviews. Let me give you some examples. The future of action cameras is here. Actual innovation with an action camera. You can now film the impossible. Or why you need this tiny camera. You should buy the Insta360 Go 3 and here's why. You're going to want one. The most versatile action camera ever, and many others that I won't list here. So this made me wonder, has everybody lost their memory? Does anybody remember this? The DJI Action 2. This little action camera came out in November of 2021, about a year and a half ago. And reviews at that time touted it as revolutionary because it could do things that had never been done before, and I agree with that. You're able to take pictures in little places you never thought possible, even with a small, normal action camera. So let's take a look at the two products and compare them, and just see if these reviewers are right. How about runtime? Well, the Go 3 can go for 45 minutes by itself without the backup module. The Action 2 can go 70 minutes without its backup module, so a little better for the Action 2 right there. With the module, the Go 3 can last for 170 minutes, and the Action 2 can last for 160 minutes. So that's comparable right there. So what about video? Well, the Go 3 can do 2.7K at 30 frames per second, or at 1080p it can go as high as 120 frames per second. But you compare that with the Action 2, the Action 2 can actually produce 120 frames a second at 4K, so considerably better. How about ISO? Well, the Go 3 can go from 100 to 3200, but the Action 2 can go from 100 to 6400, which makes it a lot better in low light conditions. Both products have built-in screens, but the Go 3 has got a flip-up screen, whereas the Action 2 is a little different. It's got a screen in the front as well as one in the back, so you can see it from either side. But frankly, once you get beyond arm's length, neither one of these are very useful. Now, the one good thing the Action 2 has is something called the Mimo app that you can add to your phone. And this will allow you to remotely monitor and adjust the settings on your camera. The Go 3, you can use the main module as a monitoring screen, but you're limited to 16 feet, so it's not as good as the Mimo app. Both have internal stabilization, both have voice control, and then there's built-in storage. Well, the Go 3 you can buy in 3 different versions, with either 32, 64, or 128 gigs of internal storage. The Action 2, on the other hand, only has 32 gigs of internal storage, but you can add a micro SD card to the main module and increase that. How about dimensions? Well, that to me is kind of relative. I mean, these things are so small, there's not a lot of difference. But let's look at the sizes. The Go 3 is 1 inch by 2.1 inch by 0.9 inch. The Action 2 is 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches by 0.9 inches. I don't think there's enough difference to really matter. If you look at the mounting options, both have a magnetic pendant that you can wear it on your chest. Both have tripod mounts. Both had selfie stick mounts. Both have sticky mounts. Very comparable in the mounting options. So which is better here? Well, it's hard to pick a winner since they're both designed for action sports. I do think it's kind of ironic, though, that DJI, when they moved from their Action 2 to their Action 3, went from this format with a mini camera back to the GoPro style. Whereas Insta360, which typically had a GoPro format, went from that to what was the old DJI format. Bottom line, they're just different interpretations of a similar design. So my point is, don't buy into the hype when you see a review online, whether you're looking at drones or cameras or even a TV for your home. Do your research, make your own decisions. It's unfortunate, but a lot of these YouTube reviewers turn out to be kind of fanboys of a particular product because they're either sponsored by them or get a lot of product from them, and they feel a sense of urgency to make good comments about their product. Do your own research, and don't assume these title grabbers are really what the product is all about. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And if you feel like sharing it with your friends, please do so. That would be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you so much for watching.
Caught behind Venetian blinds, out of reach for the city lights. This ain't where I belong. Hey, look at me, man, what I've become.